Every morning when I wake up, before the alarm finishes its second ring, before I reach for my phone, before the noise of the world breaks through the silence, I pause, I sit with myself. And in that moment, I remember something that took me years to understand. The day hasn't been written yet, and I hold the pen. You see, we all wake up and walk straight into a world that demands our attention, that pushes us and pulls us, that tries to define us before we've had the chance to decide who we are. Notifications, emails, headlines, opinions, they come flooding in, and if we're not careful, if we don't anchor ourselves in something real, we become passengers in our own lives, reacting to everything but deciding nothing. But that pause is sacred. It's where you meet yourself before the world meets you. It's where you remember that you are not a puppet in life's play. You are the writer, the director, and the lead. And if you don't take a moment to center yourself, to remind yourself of your truth, you'll spend the day chasing someone else's. I learned this the hard way on sets, backstage, in hotel rooms, far from home, when I felt like I was performing not just on stage, but in life. It's when I realized I'd come back to me. I'd take back my mornings. Because how you start your day is how you live your life. If you begin with intention, with truth, with power, you give my father, you, Fiona, met you, Bina, you're Fiona, you, Bina, you, Bina, you, Bina, I know you. So that stillness, that silence, that's not wasted time. That's preparation. That's where you pick up the pen. That's where you remind yourself, I am not at the mercy of the day. The day is in my hands. What you say to yourself when nobody's listening, that's the voice that shapes your life. Not what others say, not the applause, not the criticism. It's that quiet voice inside your own mind. The one that whispers when you're staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m., the one that speaks when you look in the mirror before a big moment, the one that follows you even in your silence. That voice, if left unchecked, can either lift you up or tear you down. I've learned that too many of us are walking around repeating someone else's lies. Things we heard as children, words spoken out of anger, moments of failure that we turned into identity. I remember being on a set, surrounded by lights and cameras, and still feeling like I wasn't enough. Not because anyone said it, but because I said it. Quietly, under my breath, in my thoughts, I'm not good enough. I don't belong here. And do you know what happened? My performance suffered. My confidence crumbled. All because of a script I was reading in my head that didn't serve me. That's the power of inner dialogue. It becomes your reality. If you tell yourself every day that you're a failure, you'll start to move like one. If you tell yourself you're invisible, you'll start to shrink. But if you wake up and say, I am here, I am capable, I am growing, everything begins to shift. Your inner voice is not just commentary, it's command. And the beautiful part is you can rewrite it. Every day you can choose different words, words that build, words that heal, words that remind you of your worth, even when the world forgets. Because truth doesn't come from outside, it starts from within. And what you repeat to yourself daily becomes your truth. So make sure it's a truth worth living. 13 truths. 13 reminders. Not just words, but anchors. Anchors for your soul in a world that will try to drift you in every direction. Life comes at you fast, doesn't it? One moment you're focused, centered, breathing easy, and the next you're lost in the noise, caught in doubt, overwhelmed by the weight of responsibilities, regrets, or rejection. That's why you need something to hold on to, something unshakable. And for me, it's these truths. I didn't pick them out of a book. I didn't find them all at once. They came to me in pieces. through failure, through silence, through long walks alone, through tears nobody saw, and victories nobody clapped for. Each truth is a brick in the foundation I stand on every day. They remind me who I am, what I value, and what I'm building. When the world forgets your name or questions your purpose, when your plans fall apart, or you feel like you're drowning in your own expectations, these truths pull you back. They steady your mind. They clear your heart. They remind you that you are more than your mistakes, more than your titles, more than what people see, because life isn't about pretending everything's okay. It's about holding tight to what is real when nothing else makes sense. These 13 truths, they don't make life easier, but they make you stronger. They won't stop the storm, but they'll help you sail through it with your head held high. And you don't need to memorize them all at once. You just need to carry them with you. Like a compass, like armor, like breath. Speak them when you're tired. Speak them when you're doubting. Speak them when the world is loud and you feel small. Because when you know your truth, the world can't shake you. And when you stand in your truth, you rise. Even in the dark. I didn't learn these truths in a classroom. I learned them in the quiet, in the struggle, in the middle of the night, when I had to face myself. You know, it's easy to talk about truth when life is good, when you're winning, when the applause is loud, when the path is clear. But the real test comes when nothing makes sense, when the phone doesn't ring, when the door's closed, when your name doesn't shine in lights. That's where I found the weight of these truths, not in moments of success, but in the spaces between. Those silent, heavy spaces where I had to ask myself, who am I without the validation? Who am I when no one's watching? There was a time early in my career where I thought I had it all figured out. I thought talent was enough, that hard work would guarantee reward. But life doesn't work like a script. It throws rewrites your way. And I got hit rejection after rejection, roles I thought were mine slipping through my fingers, moments where I questioned if I was built for this at all. And that's when I heard the voice, not the loud one from the world, but the quiet one inside me. It said, keep going. You're not done yet. You see, these truths came from those battles, from falling and getting back up, from saying no when it would have been easier to say yes, from listening when pride wanted me to speak, from forgiving when I had every reason not to. Each truth came wrapped in struggle, sealed in pain, but delivered with purpose. And that's why I carry them. That's why I share them, because I know what it's like to feel lost, to feel like you're not enough, to feel like your story is over before it's even begun. But let me tell you this. Every scar has a story, and every story has strength. The truth isn't just what you believe, it's what you live. And when you live it, when you stand in it, even when your knees shake, you become unshakable. I want you to picture something. A soldier going into battle without armor, no shield, no weapon, just bare skin against the fire. That's what it's like walking into this world every day without truth. You're exposed, vulnerable, at the mercy of every opinion, every failure, every moment of doubt. But when you start your day grounded in truth, it's like putting on armor, real, invisible, unbreakable armor. And these 13 truths, they're not decorations. They're not cute sayings for social media. They're tools. They're weapons. They're fuel. When life hits, and it will hit, you need something to stand on that doesn't crack. And let me be honest with you. Truth doesn't always feel good. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. Sometimes it calls you out. Sometimes it tells you what you don't want to hear. But it also reminds you who you are when the world wants you to forget. And that's what makes it powerful. Because when the voices around you say you're not enough, you'll remember, I am. When fear tells you to sit down, your truth will tell you to rise. When failure whispers that you've lost, truth reminds you that this is just a lesson before the comeback. You see, I've had days where I didn't want to get up, where I didn't feel strong, where I questioned why I was even trying. And on those days, it wasn't motivation that saved me, it was discipline. It was truth. The kind of truth you rehearse so often, it becomes part of your DNA. That's the truth I want for you, not something you memorize, something you live. Because the world is going to test you. It's going to try to pull you in 1,000 directions. And if you're not anchored, you'll drift. But if you have something solid, something real, you won't just survive the storm, you'll walk through it. Head high, shoulders back, eyes forward. Because truth doesn't just protect you, it propels you. So here we are. 13 truths, not just to hear, but to live by. Because the real battle isn't out there, it's in here. Inside your mind, inside your soul. Every morning you wake up, life hands you a blank page. And the question is, what will you write? Will you let the world dictate your worth? Or will you remind yourself before anything else who you truly are? These truths aren't magic. They don't erase struggle. They don't make you invincible, but they do make you grounded. They make you intentional. They make you powerful in a quiet, steady, unshakable kind of way. And that's the kind of power the world can't take from you. I want you to walk away from this, not just inspired, but equipped. You have something now. 13 anchors, 13 affirmations, 13 reminders of your strength, your purpose, your worth. Use them, say them, live them, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. Because at the end of the day, you don't rise by accident. You rise on purpose, through daily decisions, through unshakable truth, through the fire, through the silence, through it all. So tomorrow morning, before the noise, before the doubt, before the world starts pulling, pause, breathe, speak your truth, and then step into the day like you own it, as you do.